Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. I am going to share my third journal in my flower garden series, and it is titled Rose. And I've been so busy with gardening and with my mom and just stuff in general that I thought that I had already videoed this and shared it, but I didn't. So I'm doing that today. And again, it's very similar to the first two journals, the Forget-Me-Not and the Lilac. It's a hardcover covered with Dupioni silk and lace. And I used, on all of them, I used a vintage, really fine lace that I salvaged from the edge of wedding hankies. And then I did some silk ribbon embroidery, themed according to the content of the journal. So this one has little roses. So inside we have, I will, excuse me, I will list the digitals that I used under the video, but because I had already thought I had videoed this, I do not have my list. So I've got to look it all up, so I won't be mentioning a lot unless something looks familiar and pops out to me during the video. But again, with all of these series in this flower garden, what inspired me was Nazi of Amity Bloom's Garden of Grace digital, which is, I think, her newest. I believe there's 2 of them. And in it, in the kit, she wrote this poem, and so each of the journals will have this poem in it. And there are a lot of digitals from Nazi in here, or Amity Bloom in here as well. So under the front cover, I don't know whose these are, but I will list them. It's a recent purchase, but they're just beautiful. They look like they're all worn, torn, edged, rose-themed papers for journaling. And I have, these are from Amity Bloom, her tags. And I love this photo, which I'm not sure which digital designer it's from. And I just added some embroidered lace. And a pocket. And recently I did get these little cutout or fussy cut digitals of these pink bows, which I absolutely love, and I will definitely post that because I think you guys would just love them. They're just so sweet, and you can use them in several different journals themes. Just a couple. Well, that is a large journaling card, and this is an authentic postcard. And I don't know what year it's from, but it is an old one. And with the rose being on it, it had to go in here. And then I know that this is from MyPorchPrints because of her little roses, which I love. And I don't know who this is from. And the tabs, I just printed off some papers and used my tab punch. And I used another one of those pretty little fussy cut bows on this hand mirror, which I placed another one of those pretty papers. And this is some MyPorchPrints as well, again, for beautiful little roses. And a vintage doily. And a tiny little heart and some lace. And another pretty little bow with a little bling and some pretty journaling cards. And a hidden paper clip. that has little cards on both sides. There's a little dimensional butterfly, and then just some little cards that you can journal on the back, make little notes. This is actually a fabric, a little fabric square that you can use for slow stitching, and that holds this pretty journaling card, which I am not sure where it's from. And recently I went to a shop in Michigan with a friend and found this beautiful, it looks like it's French. It's a velvet ribbon with a gold with metallic edging. And when I got home, I purchased the green one and a pink one. And when I got home, I had to have the rest. So I quickly called them and I said, hold them for me. I will be up next week. And I went and got them. And they're beautiful, and I can't wait to use them throughout the journal, or throughout my journal creations. This piece, this is just a vintage couple that I put on a card with some French book page and a dried flower, and then just covered it with the that stuff. You know the stuff. I can't think what it is. It's a natural product. I keep thinking of shale. Why do I keep? Anyway, you know what it is. This just flips down, has a little piece of that on it as well. And it just has a rose, little rose, that you could write something on the back. And poetry of a rose. It's just a little note or a little label. And it just swings with this paper clip that I covered with vintage music paper. And another tag from Amity Bloom, and another pretty paper, and then a pretty document or receipt on tracing paper. Well, we're going to fiddle with that later. This is just a raised dimensional rose that I fussy cut, and it is on an identical rose that was on the actual paper. And this little tuck spot, little emblem here, I just tucked that little card up there, and a little pocket with a few, oh, that's an envelope that you can tuck something in. I think it's very pretty. And I love that card. It's just a simple vintage card that I love the rose on it. And some more rose themed journaling cards and a little row of those fabric roses. And some hand-dyed avocado paper. And this just flips out. It's on cardstock, and some fabric with roses on it for plenty of journaling space. And a little tag that says smile with a tiny dragonfly charm and some vintage avocado dyed lace. And this is just a simple little rusty paper clip with a little rosebud with an extra sheet of journaling paper. And a little dimensional butterfly with a stamen antenna, and some vintage lace. And in this little belly band, I have some more of Amity Bloom's rose tags, and a little seed packet that I made with a piece of Velcro that you can slip maybe a dried flower from your garden or something in, maybe even some seeds, and one of those little vintage flocked flowers with a little bling in the middle. And some lace decorated, embellished with some of more of those little bling dots. It's just pretty papers, space to journal. Under this little girl belly band are a couple more cards to journal on. And this is just a tuck spot with a vintage whistle button and to make it look like a specimen card. This is from Amity Bloom. She has a love that blooms. I love all of her thing. I think everybody does. She just has very heartfelt sentiments and just a way. Now this is going to be a hidden paper clip. I just didn't finish it. I just put it there. And this is the last thing I have to do. And then this envelope, it just has a pretty little rose paper that I printed on tracing paper. And some more lace. And this is from a book page, and I just put some coffee dyed paper on the back of it so you could journal on it. This is from Amity Bloom Snippets. She's got 2 sets of them, and you can print them on clear matte sticker sheets or address sheets. I think they call them address sheets, to make your own stickers or to make your own washi tape. And she has, I wish I would have printed out a page that you could see, but go to Amity Bloom on Etsy and you will see she has 2 sets of them, and they're absolutely beautiful. They print very nice on anything. And just some more journaling cards, the rose theme. And this is, it looks like a real postcard. I'm sure it was at one time, but this is, you know, printed. And it just flips up with some coffee stained paper for extra space to journal. This is just a dimensional rose. And this is, oh, I know who this is. Roses is, and this too. It's Among the Roses, I believe, maybe. But I will list this. I have several of her digitals. And just a paper leaf, a vintage dyed mother pearl button, and a vintage piece of applique dangles from that page tab. And this pocket is made with a piece of wide lace that I just doubled it over to make it 2-tiered with one of Amity Bloom, one of her tags. And this is, because the envelope was pink, I had to put this in here. I love these little letters. I have a series of them, and it's from 2 friends, Miss Doris Jebb and Miss Leola Miller from Michigan. And they're so cute. It's like they're in, I believe they're either in going to college or just graduated, or anyway, they're young ladies who I'm losing my voice, who are pen pals and friends, and they moved away from each other, so they can only write to each other. This is a little envelope. It's a pretty little thing that I put a Velcro and a card inside with roses. And this is an envelope. You can tuck your own goodies in there. And this is an Amity Bloom from her kit. Little calling card. And this is a dried rose from my garden. it's not a pocket, it's just for looks. Oh, wait a minute, it is a pocket. See, I'm getting confused because I've done this before. It is a little pocket that has some sweet little digital journaling cards. And a couple nice postcards to journal. This is another strip from Amity Bloom's, the two sets of strips that I was telling you about. And some avocado dyed paper. A pretty page from the Amity Bloom's kit. And a little piece of vintage lace and a tag from MyPorchPrints. And then a tiny little vase of roses tag. And on this side, I took this image and just cut a circle and added some vintage women and acetate to hold a couple of journaling cards, wallpaper, and a photo. And here, in this little belly band, I just put a little snippet of a little porcelain cabochon and a pretty little stick pin with some pretty, that's a vintage piece, fabrics that you could use in a slow stitch project, and then a little journaling card. And this is just a rose charm with some vintage dyed lace. And this little dimensional butterfly and a mother of pearl button flap, it lifts up, and then you've got some beautiful little rose cards. I think those are the sweetest. They look so genuinely vintage. A little tiny snippet of lace, a tiny little tuck spot with a little tag with an R for rose, and a sweet little card, or just a simple little date or something. This pretty waterfall, I will definitely put where I got this. I think these are just beautiful rose cards. But this one, I love this one. So I had to make a waterfall with them. A belly band with a nice large piece of paper to journal on. A belly band with several pieces of handmade washi tape. And this is from the I'll put it underneath, I cannot remember. Hidden paper clip, I do know that that is from MyPorchPrints from a long time ago. She had several of these tea tins that she used for page tabs or hidden paper clips, and a nice envelope, an Amity Bloom tag or card, and that just sits in there. And this is the other half of the lace that I folded over. I added a vintage embroidered piece on a very sheer fabric, and I just placed in an envelope. It has Velcro, so it must, yeah, it has a couple little cards in it, and then a pretty tag, and then another tag from Amity Bloom, and an authentic lady photo. She must be ready to go to her rose garden because her hair's all up in a little bun. And here in this belly band of a hand holding a rose is a simple lady. She's probably looking at her rose. She's been working in the garden. And then this woman from Amity Bloom's kit admiring her roses. It is so hot here now in the Midwest that I just got out this morning and did a little weeding and watered everything, cleaned out the bird baths and the water fountain, and that was it for me. Fed the cats, and that's it. So I'm in for the day. A couple little roses tucked in here that you could write a date or something on the back. And in here I made, this is one of Amity's strips that she offers. I just took these little cards, note cards, and added calling cards to the front. So you can actually use them as calling card, or not calling, as little note cards or gift cards, or you can leave them in here for your own private notes. And on the back, under this sheer ribbon, I added a genuine picture of a couple with a bouquet of flowers for their wedding. And for your anniversary, it's got the little grosgrain ribbon and it's raised, embossed, and this is pretty. Lots of luck and love, Gladys and Cordy. I thought that was sweet. So this just tucks in here with a little charm, that butterfly charm, says created for you. And that is it. I just have to add that paper clip, and she will be going off to her new home. So that's number 3, that's Rose. Now number 4 is Dahlia, which I'm going to go ahead and show it, but I'm not quite finished with it. Someone claimed this immediately when I showed it, and when I mentioned that it was going to have dahlias in it. And then I went looking, and I didn't find as many Dahlia digitals that I had wanted. So I asked, how about if I add some other flowers? And she said, yes, I love flowers, so do it. So I did. I did the same with the vintage wedding lace hanky, left salvaged lace. And then I just added, that's a dahlia, and that was a dahlia, and just added some different silk ribbon embroidered flowers. And again, hardcover Dupioni covered with lace. And this is a peachy pink base. Maybe I should do this one on its own. You know what? I think I will. Sorry for the tease, but I'm going to wait for this one. I don't want the video to be too long. Plus, I don't want to get anyone confused with the kits I used in the rose and the ones I used in the journal. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. I'm sorry about that. And this will be the next one. But this is the rose, and I hope you enjoyed it. And thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.